This woman just caught a glimpse of a small red wildflower outside her door and was scared out of her mind. She quickly dug it up and buried it deep underground. In this village, red is absolutely forbidden. Once it appears, a creature covered in spikes from deep in the forest will storm into the village and slaughter everything. To survive, the village chief made a deal with that monster long ago. Villagers would never set foot in the forest, in exchange for the village's safety. For years, everyone respected this boundary and didn't dare cross the line. Life was peaceful, but there was this reckless young guy who had to push his luck. When no one was looking, he snuck into the forbidden forest. Even worse, he brought back a red flower. He had no idea he'd just pushed the entire village toward the edge of a cliff. Karma came fast. That very night, the guard heard a bone-chilling rustling sound. He worked up the courage to lift the floorboards, and a red shadow flashed by in an instant. The guard's legs went weak. He desperately rang the alarm bell that sealed everyone's fate. The moment the bell rang, the whole village erupted into chaos. Everyone ran home like crazy and hid in their cellars, trembling. Only a blind girl refused to close her door. She was still waiting for her boyfriend who hadn't come home. At the last possible moment, her boyfriend rushed back, pulled her into the cellar, and barely saved their lives. That night, no one was hurt, but the sound of the monster pounding on doors outside left everyone terrified. The next morning, the nightmare came true. Many villagers' doors were splashed with red paint, the monster's death notice. To smooth things over, the chief called an emergency meeting and set up a long banquet table. Everyone put on yellow robes and tossed a huge chunk of premium pork onto the altar outside, trying to bribe the monster. But the monster wasn't buying it. In the dead of night, the screams of livestock shattered the silence. Everyone ran outside and found animals dead everywhere. To survive, everyone had to hide again like turtles pulling into their shells. But right at this critical moment, the blind girl slipped out onto the porch. Turns out, her boyfriend had been guarding the door all night to protect her. This devotion completely touched her heart, and they decided to get married right then and there. But this tender moment was being watched by a pair of eyes in the shadows. The next day, the village idiot, Juzi, suddenly knocked on the boyfriend's door. Before the boyfriend could react, Juzi pulled out a dagger and stabbed him right in the abdomen. The boyfriend collapsed in a pool of blood instantly. When the blind girl arrived after hearing the news, her boyfriend was already dying. The most desperate part? The village's medical care was so backward they didn't even have basic antibiotics. This was basically a death sentence for the boyfriend. At this critical moment, the blind girl, the chief's daughter, made up her mind. She would go to the outside world to find medicine. No matter how hard her father, the chief, tried to stop her, she was determined to go. Left with no choice, the chief broke the rules and let her leave. But before she set off, her father took her to a hidden warehouse.
It is just a few steps.